Dear friends, welcome to the third episode of Doon School Rafting Expedition, which we had taken up in 1993. In our previous episodes, we had started the rafting from Brandinala, encountered some of the narrow gorges, reached Satak, and found another put-in point. Now, almost every day, we used to inspect the river because we don't want to take any risk, unnecessary risk we are not interested to take because the children are involved. So, today we are starting from the camp, which was very close to the abandoned huts. Around 10 o'clock, we started our rafting. Initially, it was just very enjoyable because rapid of grade 2 or 3, they were maximum there. And even the narrow gorges were not that narrow that we had to face any serious problem. But all of a sudden, at 10:40, Partho signaled AD out and rafts were brought on the right corner of river Tsarap. Right in the middle, there was a huge rock blocking the river. And on the left side, straight rock. It looked like as if the river has been totally blocked. But where the water is going, not sure. You will be surprised. Width of the river was almost similar to the width of the raft. How to go now? As I told you, on the left side there was a straight cliff rock. On the right side there was another rock extending towards the left side of the rock. In between there was a small gap. There was a sharp edge of the rock. So the system says lining up or roping up. So now the planning was made, river was read, rapid was understood. The nylon ropes were already tied down in front of the raft, in the middle of the raft, and in the rear part of the raft. Members were holding all the ropes. Shaukat was right in the middle of the raft. The moment raft is about to touch the rock, two of our members, they were standing there with the paddles, and with the help of the paddles they lifted the raft and the raft descended to the other side of the river. Now the second raft also was tried in a similar way, but somewhere something happened, somebody messed up, and even one of the rope broke, and the force of the water current was so much that members couldn't hold the rope, and the second raft was moving into the river unguidedly. No, Shaukat is there. Shaukat's despair. The name of this raft, rapid given. But Shaukat is an expert rafter. almost 100 or 150 meter away, there was a rock in the middle of the river. It jumped and with the help of the rope stopped going away of the raft. Meanwhile, the moment raft started its journey unguidedly, I went on the right side rock, climbed it, and ran towards the area where Shaukat had been. He was happy to find me, and then, of course, slowly things managed. We crossed over this hurdle. Now the rafting till, you can say, 3:15 or 3:20, it was enjoyable. Rapid of grade 2 or 3 were coming in between. Not a difficult challenge had been thrown by the river. We enjoyed it. So we found ourselves very close to the village Marshung. And closer to the bank of the river, there was a lone pine tree standing high. Though not very far, there were willow trees also. We kept. Today we must have covered 30 to 35 kilometers of rafting. Tomorrow morning we are starting towards Phuktal monastery, which is the ancient monastery in this area, regarded as the most respected monastery. We had our breakfast quite early. It was drizzling. Our movement was delayed. Around 11:30 we started rafting again. Again it was an enjoyable journey because not big rapids were there, not narrow gorges of previous nature were there. Again around 3 o'clock, Partho signaled "Idi out," and the rafts were parked on the right side of the river. To our surprise, there were some of the pug marks on the sand. Might be some animal had come, most probably the leopard. And students mentioned why not to name this rapid. And they had said, "Leopards leave." Now there was a rapid there of grade 3 or little more. Right in the middle of the river there was a rock. Water was hitting that rock, and slowly that wave was rising to a considerable distance and then descending towards the river. It was enjoyable because on this kind of wave, you feel like as if you are the swans dancing on the waves of Mansarovar. This has been mentioned by the poet Kalidas. We enjoyed. We had some refreshment. Even a cup of tea was also prepared. And we freshened up. But we had just rafted from this point for another 15-20 minutes when all of a sudden the river took a turn towards the west. There was a camping spot on the left, and towards north of the camp, huge hill, and right in the middle of the cliff there were a good number of houses. This was Phuktal monastery, established in 12th century and established by Gengsen Sempo. This is the most beautiful and most respected monastery in this area. The moment you start your trekking from the bank of river Tsarap. You will find chortens there, and little after you will find a small dhaba like also there. Good number of rooms dedicated to the library, to the hospital indirectly you can say, and it's a study center, educational center, religious educational center. And in one go, almost 70 people can study, even stay, they dine here. And the best part with this monastery, they provide indirectly a medical assistance even to the people surrounding this area. Indirectly, it's the most important monastery. And I want to tell you something more. Please understand, there was no road sport available 30 years back. And when I go through the Google, still there's no road sport available to this Phuktal monastery, the most beautiful monastery. And between Phuktal and Marshung, nowadays there is a dam, Alchi Dam. What has happened? Heavy landslides had happened in between. And finally, those landslides were converted into the dam, Alchi Dam. Now, while interacting with the people, with the lamas, with the teacher and the local people, we learned that river is going to throw many challenges even now after this. So what we planned, we will inspect the river and then plan our next move. Now, this is going to be the most interesting part of the expedition. I'm sure next episode we are going to encounter those challenges which really teach you a lesson. Thank you for being with me in this episode also. Look after yourself. Thank you once again.